Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm Henry Wildberry, and today we're going to be doing an update video on my custom steel all-road bike that John Fitzgerald built for me back in 2018. Now, I did a 15,000 mile update video on the build. I did a whole build series on this bike. I covered everything from the tubing specs, the geometry, all the features on the bike, the racks, the brakes, everything. I covered the entire bike frame build process. And now it's been about 30,000 miles. And over the last couple of years, I have not been riding it as much. It's been put aside for some of the other bikes that John built for me. And then, of course, the bike I built for myself. And so it's been a while. So I thought what I would do today is take you in with me. We're going over to John Fitzgerald's shop where he is making some changes to the bike frame. And this is the last piece of the changes that we're making. And this piece today is the fork. So I asked John if he could make a new fork with some changes to it. And he said, hey, why don't you just come over and we'll make it together. So join along. Let's go. Hey. Comes the attack dog. Cat dog.
Set up for center line and straight with this edge. And somewhere in there. So we're going to bend these so that the arc kind of hits it right in the middle.
Yeah, so explain what you did there.
I packed it with TIG wire so to help keep it from collapsing too much.
Okay.
We're going to be cutting off the end anyways, but precautionary.
Hello everyone, Henry Wildberry here in the editing studios, and I thought I would give you a quick rundown of what we're actually doing with this fork today. So first we have to bend the fork rake that we plan to make for this bike.
And what radius curvature were you using on the die here?
Well, it's a variable one, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
I just picked one that I thought would look nice. I think it was from what I did to this other gravel bike, kind of rake.
If you didn't watch the whole build series on this bike, you wouldn't know that the original fork for this bike was actually, it had a 67 millimeter offset, and with the 72.5 degree head tube angle and the 650B wheels, I know that's a lot of numbers, but that makes a very low trail front steering. And the reasons for a low trail bike were that the handling would be quicker so that you could load the front of the bike with a handlebar bag or even lowrider panniers for touring. Because a lot of randonneuring is a type of long distance self-supported riding, and having a handlebar bag makes it easy to access things that you need while you're riding so that you don't have to stop, get off the bike, and get something off the back of the bike that you might need.
We're stopping to here, but we don't want to go past that pivot point or that face. So yeah, that looks good, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Some people have slotting tools on a machine to do this, which I think if you're doing a bunch of them, it's probably a good idea, in a batch. But if you're just doing custom stuff where everything is different anyways, this is fast.
Fast enough.
Fast enough. I mean, jigs on machines are one thing. Like, it's kind of nice to have a little mill set up just to cut chainstays, you know?
Yeah.
You see how I pop that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've decided that the low trail geometry is okay. It's not my favorite. And I'm still able to handle a bicycle with a front load with a mid trail geometry. And so what we're building is a new fork to replace the original fork. And we're decreasing the fork offset.
When we file it, we're gonna make this kind of scallop that will end up looking like your old fork. See that kind of bevel, if you will? We want to keep it symmetrical on each side, you know, as much as possible.
So that we can increase the trail so that this bike will handle more neutral like a typical touring bike might handle, or a road bike with a more slack geometry. It's definitely not going to handle quickly like a criterium racing bike or a track racing bike or something to that effect. This is still going to have stable handling comparatively. Almost there. Wow, that was actually hard. That steel is pretty strong.
Bing. Yeah, so this pin with the brazing is going to become part of the fork crown and steer.
Do you use flux in your brazing? Do you have like one of those fluxers?
No.
No. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that'll all become one.
That's the secret. All the little
Holds it in place.
yeah.
Loose enough to move it around, you know? I want to take a look at things. But maybe I'm just becoming an old guy. Yeah.
The fork crown and the fork blades are by Rene. Well, the fork crown is by Rene Herse, and it's their special fork crown to match the special Keizai special Toei fork blades. These are designed to be the ultra comfortable flex, so something that would benefit a long distance randonneur. It's not a fork blade that's designed to be, you know, carrying a ton of load on it. It is definitely a thin-walled fork blade, but with the type of loads that I'm putting on it and the types of rides that this bike is designed for, it's a really good match. It also has the fork crown is wide enough to manage large tires with fenders, large wide fenders. This is a 650B by 48. It'll fit, this bike will fit up to probably a 55 millimeter tire if I wanted to, but I generally don't go more than 50 millimeters on this bike. The fenders are 61 or 62 millimeters wide, and that will fit between these fork blades with this particular fork crown. What else can I tell you about it that might be helpful information? The brazons are also from Rene Herse, and they are designed for, they're called Brazon center pull brake pivots. And these are really nice because they braze directly to the fork blades, which eliminates the built-in brake bridge that comes with some center pull brakes. And it gives them a really nice braking feel because they are literally integrated into the fork blades. So they're very stiff and they give the brakes a very nice feel. I've had a lot of people ask me over the years what are my thoughts on different rim brakes and my favorites. And I have to say, I think as far as brake feel and performance goes, center pull brakes for wide tires, center pull brakes are among the best for my to my preference.
Nice work. Yeah, so you see this over coming out all along the bottom there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it looks perfect. Like perfectly even. I'm guessing you've done it a couple times. And as far as maintenance, as far as adjustability, as far as brake squeal, they are the best. They do not accommodate as wide of tires as, say, a cantilever brake will. So if you're looking for like a mountain bike, you may be forced to use cantilever brakes or even linear pull brakes, or V brakes as they're called.
So this part, I start with the belt sander and then finish off with the file.
Okay.
Yeah, just it gets a little loud. Now we're going to take the TIG welder and I'm going to TIG these in place, take it out, flux it up, and braze it. That's it.
That's it.
Released into reality. That's why it is said that the angels in heaven have hearts. And why
Oh, there's one thing that I didn't mention before, but you see how like this arc wants to hit the middle of the dropout? That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're, like if you extend it, that's what you're looking for. You don't want this to be all like cockeyed up here like that, or have this kind of,
the eternal now.
it's an aesthetic thing, but it all just flows nicer. you
Yeah,
know? Just like it wants to terminate right into the wheel.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be the least amount of stress too, really.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Making sure. So yeah, I'm rotating it and stuff so that that flux gets into any little crack that I might have missed when I was shoving it in there. So I work the heavy parts, the preheat. Preheating with bronze is not as, it's a little more forgiving than with silver. Silver, like, if you do it too much, it just burns really quick. But there's a limit of bronze as well, you don't overdo it. And with bronze, you can let the metal get like, red hot in certain spots. With silver, you're generally not wanting that to happen. Because the flux burns off. And some of these tips on the fork blades, because it's a thinner metal, it's going to heat up faster and could burn. So, got to move it around, try and keep the heat on the thicker parts, And keep that torch moving around. Alright, it's starting to almost get even. And if you need to, you can get a little bit on the tips, bronze, and that would keep it from scorching. To the edges. I like to pull it, make sure it gets coverage all the way to the edges first, and then slowly start filling the void. Do you see how I'm kind of pulsating it?
Yeah.
A little bit? You want it to kind of cool a little bit so it has enough time to kind of build up. Otherwise it just melts and goes further than you want it to go. You want it to build the cavity so it closes it, you know?
Yeah.
Oops, excuse me.
That's okay.
I don't know if you can get a close-up to watch this drip into the, you know, as it fills into these spots.
Yeah.
You might be able to catch it more on this side.
Very cool.
Did you do much filing on your lug bike? Like in terms of around the shorelines and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah,
Way
okay.
too much. I was getting silver everywhere.
This is a similar idea, but a little more forgiving. We're just trying to crisp up the lines, you know?
Yeah, it looks better. I mean, you have a lot less cleanup than I had.
Yeah. And that's all knowing when to stop adding, heat control.
Feels like I kind of rolling off of it a little bit. We want this to be a smooth.
Yeah. You know? Alright, let's see if this fits. It fits in there.
Yeah.
It just fits, like, you had to put a little more effort
Yeah.
to fit it, so I'm just maybe I'll file a little off the top. trying to draw it back here. See how I do that? Then I can see it better?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit. I'm going to try and pull it. There it goes. So it's good to pick a reference point. Usually the valve stem hole. .38. Let's see. Yeah. But because this side is closer to the wheel, well, let's double check.
Double check, because the wheel could be off a little.
It could be off. So we flip it to the other side and take the average.
There you go.
I mean, 1.6 divided by 2, that's 0.8. So that's less than 1 mil. We're good.
0.8. Yeah, we don't want to get too perfect.
But surprisingly, they're pre-mitered ones for the front forks. They do line right up. Look for the two pieces of metal to become evenly red. So if one is heating up more than the other, you focus the flame the other one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The one that's less red.
For anything up to 50 millimeters, you know, I am a big fan of center pole brakes with the braze-on mounts. I've used the other kind where they mount with their own plate at the center of the fork crown, and they're okay too, but there's just something about the way the Brazon, or what you might hear in road biking lingo, direct mount brakes, and they are fantastic. Among the best. I mean, I think they're, to me, as far as the performance goes, they are the best feeling brakes. I would put them over most disc brakes as far as ride feel goes, unless it's raining, of course. But otherwise, as far as braking feel, they are among the best. When you pull that lever and you get that feel of the wheel in between your hands, it feels amazing. And yeah, it's like you're connected to the bike. It's the best, and it fits wide tires. So anyhow, okay, well, that's it. I just wanted to explain what we were doing today. I'll have a few more videos coming where we'll be talking about the other changes we're making, and stay tuned for those. I'll also probably do a rebuild video where we rebuild this bike, and of course the ride video that is going out and talking about the changes and how they feel. So if you're interested in this, I hope you guys stick around, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you soon.
So now I'm going to turn down the flame because I'm going to put the silver. Well, because the fork ground is so thick anyways, I might not have even really needed to turn it down much. So we're putting... Are we putting low rider racks?
I think we decided to.
I think when you get a chance, write it down on here what we're doing, and I'll get it done.